Hello there. How are you doing? My name is Cheryl Moody. For those of you who are new to our Shed and Shine 53075 group, my background is, well, I'm a mom of six, for living, a wife of 35 plus years, been in the wellness industry for well over 10 years, about 14 years. And then count all the other years where I did all the things that we do as moms and running a household and trying to keep things healthy. I have a huge background in real estate. I run our companies with my husband. We have a farm, and I'm a homeschool mom. My baby at home is 12 now, and so we homeschool and run around like crazy, like we moms do. So I know that many of you here are at different stages in life. I've got young moms, I've got single parents, I've got empty nesters, I've got retirees, the whole spectrum, you guys. So the whole spectrum of physical needs is also present. That's what's exciting about this Shed and Shine, because everybody can do this and it's not too crazy. I love the dimensions. Have you felt the dimensions of the Shed and Shine challenge? Um, Thinking about other people while we worry about ourselves, outside of even our circle, like our home or our workplace, gives us a dimension that helps to help us move and shift the physical changes and make that more of a permanent emotional change also, because there is some emotional attachment to previous weights or health issues, and to get that kind of squared away and in a maintenance mode, we really do need to be kind of working on this emotional side as well as the physical side. Anyways, we'll talk more about that. If that comes up for you, please feel comfortable to message me directly, text me, call me, get on these phone calls and these calls, um, and ask the questions. Like, we'll answer those questions. I've been through a lot of that myself. Have a big announcement, and I'm super excited to give you a new schedule. These calls are going to be moved to Tuesday. We are going to move them to Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern time. And we're doing that because that's a little bit better for the summer schedule. If you have input, I was deciding between 12 noon and 1 o'clock. If you want to give your input, if 1 o'clock is a must-have, message me, because I'm actually open to both times. But right now I'm going to say 12 noon. And so that makes it easier. And then I will be sending this recording out to all of you who have registered and are going forward with this challenge. And you can pass the word along to your friends that you're also including on the challenge. Let's get into it. What are you feeling? What results are you seeing or feeling? So I'm not a big weigh up myself on the scale kind of a person. Dr. Dukan, in his book, this book, says he suggests weighing yourself every day. Now, my husband likes that. He likes to see every single day kind of as a check-in. He loves that. Now, everybody is different. I don't. I really wanted to feel different in my clothing that I had. I didn't want to go buy more clothing. I didn't want to keep adjusting this body change. So this pair of pants for this time and this pair of pants for that time. I wanted to have something consistent. And so that was my goal. In 2 weeks, I have actually been able to get to where I'm feeling happy about how I'm fitting in clothes that I like. And so that feels nice. I haven't reached my goal, which has to do with my whole set of clothing. And I'm also going to get rid of a lot of clothing, and things, kind of go through everything. And because actually, for a specific reason, at our church, we've started a room that's called the giving room. And so we put things in there so that without question, if anybody needs food or clothing or anything, they can just go in there and shop. And there's no questions asked. It's free. It's whatever people need. And so I'm going to go through my things a little bit and things that I know that I really realistically am not going to fit back into, and that my daughter, who now fits into all my smaller clothes, doesn't want. Those will go in the giving room, and then I'll just sort through some things. So this is helping me kind of in that mindset. What is your goal? Is it the bathing suit that you have to wear for vacation? Because that's also kind of my goal too, because I've got a couple bathing suits and I at least want to look decent. I've got an older body, so I know the wrinkles are there and all this stuff. But that's what I'm using the MetaPower Adaptive for, so it can be shrinking skin and tightening skin as I lose the weight, which I did not have when I did this the very first time, and I got really like kind of upset. My body's not my 20-year-old body. Oh, shocker. So, um, anyways, so is it that, or is it that you want your complexion to feel better? Do you have health issues? Like, have you taken a blood test with your doctor and he's saying your cholesterol, you're this, you're that, you're diabetes or whatnot? This is going to help. This is going to help with any diabetic issues, blood pressure issues. This will help with um, a lot of issues that come with stored toxins or real hardworking parts or internal organs. This is going to help take care of getting like cleansing out a lot of that. So that'll really help a lot. Okay, let's talk a little bit. Let's break it down. We've talked about how we've got two choices, right? So we've got the original, the Dukan diet, and the 7-step Pierre Dukan diet. And you can pick and choose. Key note is that calories are not the issue here. It is food choice, right? And it's a strategy. It's a very effective strategy. Dr. Dukan is, we in our last call, we talked about how he has incredible background in science and medical before he even started getting into this idea of helping people actually lose weight. He had a client or a patient come to him and say, I need help losing weight. And he's like, okay, sure, we'll try it. And then so he established, I love this Atomic Habits book, habits for this client. And this client became the first of many to attempt to accomplish these things. If you have already started, you have already done the first part of this diet, which would be the protein only days. And that is to really get the fires burning hot. That is to really get your body to start to send a message. I am focusing on protein. I am fueling my body, and it is time to work. And he suggests 3 to 7 days, sometimes longer, but you really need to stay just in that range for the fuel time, for that kick in the pants for the metabolic system. Your metabolic system runs everything in your body. So it's all your internal organs. It's not just weight loss, but it's how everything functions, top to bottom, bottom to top. And that's the key. So that's why I love this. I've learned even more about this. I didn't realize a lot of even the other side of this until doTERRA came out with their MetaPower system. And in their MetaPower system is all about resetting your metabolic system, which in turn has done a lot of this, like helping your body to reorganize. So it's going to shed the weight it doesn't need. It'll hit your true weight. It will help your body's functioning, like all of the systems work systematically instead of like as we age, like one system kind of glitches and then another system has to take over and then another system glitches and then you kind of have this whole like things aren't functioning in the order they should be in your brain, in your organs and everything. This diet helps you take foods and reorganize your metabolic system. So you can combine the two and have this powerful experience. So you've already done the protein part probably. So the alternating part, this part, is the the coup d'etat. Okay, this is really important and really good. And I'm gonna tell you some cheat things too, because I'm a little bit of a cheater. Just side note. So let me read a couple things that Dr. Dukan has in here, and we'll talk about some questions that have arisen and that I know you're going to face. The diet of alternating proteins, building on the momentum and speed generated by the pure protein attack diet, is now responsible for guiding you to your chosen goal. This phase will occupy the largest part of the strictly weight loss period of the Dukan diet. Okay, so you can do this as long as you want. This is the weight loss part, okay? The rhythmic addition of vegetables greatly reduces the pure protein's impact and gives this entire second phase in the diet a kind of syncopated pace, both for organizing your meals and for the result obtained. Thus, there will be pauses interrupted by accelerations, a series of conquests followed by resting periods, all leading to alternate sequence, nevertheless, to your end goal. I promise that this works. I promise that he's exactly right. If you have a menstrual cycle that hits, it's okay that it kind of pauses. It kicks in. It's the weirdest thing. It's very cool. It works. I promise. Okay. What rhythm should this diet take for you? Okay, so he gives you a couple ideas. I'm just off the top of my head going to tell you that my husband and I did alternating, one day on, one day off, one day on, one day off, one day protein and vegetables. The vegetables are specific, and we were very careful about that. Um, and it's for good reason. These vegetables are low in the sugars that just they'll mix you up. If you add in sugary vegetables, or starchy vegetables, it's gonna interfere with your weight loss. It's gonna get in the way. Okay, so that's it. You just need to know it's gonna get in the way. Read the book and you'll see all the details of why. But it really like interferes with that metabolic system and the fire that's going. It's kind of like putting a little bit of water on the fire. Does that make sense? It makes it work harder to get hot again, and you have to add more fuel to it, so forth and so on. Okay, so in the short term, the most effective rhythm, he says, is the 5-5. 5 days of pure proteins followed by 5 days of proteins plus vegetables. It's not the easiest rhythm. It does start off spectacularly, but it slows down and may become burdensome. So that's literally his comment, okay? The other solution is the 1-1 rhythm, and that's what I just told you about. This alternating rhythm takes longer to get going, but in 20 days, it will have caught up, and over the long term, it is easier to follow and generates less frustration. So when I did this diet with my husband, I just said, I'm not weighing myself at the beginning. I did the protein side, then I weighed myself. From beginning to end, from the attack phase to the end of the alternating rhythms, I lost over 30 pounds. That was pretty much 30 days. That's all we did. It was 30 days. And then we focused on the maintenance, which then I lost a couple more pounds because my body was now in the rhythm of losing weight a little bit, not crazy, but it was figuring out what my true weight was. And it felt really natural and it felt really good. It didn't feel crazy. The protein attack phase feels a little crazy at the beginning to me, for me. It feels a little crazy. I had to get myself off of sugar, so I had the sugar headache. I have not yet gotten myself off of caffeine. I love my ale A's. Oh, it's a Kentucky drink, and I think I have one a day. It's not huge, but I need to get off of that because anytime that you spike, you actually are also interfering with your metabolic system. So that's happening in the next week. Like it's going to happen. We're getting off of caffeine, but I digress. That's just one of those things that we all will address. So you've got the 5-5 day, you've got the 1-1 day. Then there's a third way. So if you only have a little bit of weight to lose, he says the 2-7 rhythm. 2 days of pure proteins on Mondays and Thursdays, and 5 days of proteins plus vegetables during the rest of the week. So that's just a very slow, I just need to lose 10 pounds. that kind of a thing. And that's great because you're resetting your metabolic system. No matter how much weight we're looking at, really, instead of saying weight loss, I would say you're shedding the cells that hold the toxins. And if you only have a little bit of stored toxins, like say 10 pounds, say 10, 15 pounds, to say 8 pounds, I'd say 10 or under, really. Then this might be okay. Finally, if you just really want to get rid of the stored stuff that you can see, so i.e. the cellulite, then 2-7 or 2-0 rhythm. 2 days of pure proteins a week on Mondays and Thursdays, followed by 5 days of no particular diet, but avoiding any extremes. That's more like the maintenance one. Okay. That he says this is the diet that best suits some women with cellulite who are slim on top, but heavy around the hips and thighs, especially. So he's worked with all kinds. So he's answered all kinds of questions, try all different things. So those are what he says. Some additions for the cruise phase. I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me. The allergy season is here in Kentucky, big time. In this phase, he calls it the cruise phase. Um, it doesn't feel like a cruise phase for me. Maybe a cruise ship phase. I don't know. You call it what you want. I call it alternating phase. Oat bran. During the cruise phase, the amount of oat bran you should eat is increased from 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons a day. Now, I have added this into my diet on a consistent basis now. This is great for your heart health, great for cholesterol. This is a phenomenal thing to add in, and it's oat bran, not oatmeal. So remember that. This can be added in. So, okay, one hack. Take 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, unflavored. Add 2 tablespoons of your oat bran, or if you're in the protein phase, 1.5. Add, now, I don't know if I should tell you about the honey yet or not. The honey might only be able to come in on the maintenance side, but for my allergies, I'm going to add a little bit of honey, and it's not for the flavor or the sugar. It is literally for allergies. So local honey, I'm adding a little bit of that. I add about 4 drops of wild orange essential oil for the flavoring, because that's not a seed oil or whatnot. It's and that will help cleanse also. So that's for flavoring, and it's not like sugary juice. I hope that makes sense. And then what else do I add? And then I'll add a little bit of doTERRA's protein powder. So try to keep the protein high, that's kind of what I do. And I mix that all together and eat that. I make the breakfast pancake that he suggests with the egg white and the bran and the yogurt. Actually, it's really fun. And you can add whatever flavoring. So I use my essential oils so that I'm not like, or I'll use just salt and pepper, but like doing it, like adding cinnamon, like I did that one time. It was so good. I've added cumin before. I've added what have I added? Anyways, different. I played around with flavors. Anyways, so you just need to make sure if you use seasoning packets that there's no sugar in them. Exercise. Similarly, the recommended exercise is increased from a 20-minute walk of the attack phase to a 30-minute walk in this alternating phase. If you are on a stagnation plateau, increase your movement to 60-minute walks for 4 days until you break through the plateau. That's a fantastic hack. You can also go ahead and do some of the yoga, get the stretching going. There's face yoga. So like I'm going to start doing some face yoga and see if that has any effect whatsoever. And that is the alternating. How much weight? If you are significantly overweight by 40 pounds or more, the loss is difficult to predict week by week, but experience has shown that one can expect to lose around 2 pounds a week. I have lost more than 2 pounds a week. Usually it was 4. What I really like about this, and sometimes it was more, sometimes 4.5, sometimes 5. And then like during menstrual cycle, it was 2. So your body's gonna be different. Just show yourself grace and know there's progress. And in fact, what I'd really like, I'm going to ask a favor actually. So I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna pick this one up. If you would like to do kind of like all the foods every week and you really want to mix it up and keep yourself entertained, maybe you get distracted, then go ahead and try the 7 steps. This will be a slower weight loss process, but it's completely healthy again, managing and manipulating your foods to increase your metabolic system's behavior so that it's more normal. It kind of takes years off of your metabolic system, and that's really the goal, is rebooting your metabolic system tells your body that it's in better function. So it'll match more of when you were 40 years old or younger. And that's kind of exciting. To maximize that, and I love the maximizing, use the MetaPower Adaptive. If you need a link or you need a QR code, message me, or if somebody in this group has been the one to include you, please ask them for a QR code from their actual doTERRA account, because they actually get credit for it. It's a little something, a little gift from doTERRA for referring a friend. There's a whole refer a friend um, uh, program for people. And I don't want to interfere with my doTERRA ladies who love their, options with their natural options. I like for them to get the credit. I'm going to tell you another hack. So these little gems, this is called the MetaPower Gel Cap. And in this gel cap is a MetaPower blend. And this is great to take after a meal. So on your protein and vegetable days, this is a great when you've had some carbs and there may be some fats involved. There may be some natural sugars. This tells your body to not allow your fat cells to mature or to store anything, so that your body will keep cleansing out versus storing. This is a sweet baby right here. So I take one of these after I eat a meal of any kind that might have any kind of sugar attached to it. Another hack, a really cool, awesome hack. I've mentioned it before, I believe. But this is the MetaPower Assist herbal supplement. I take this. Now, this will come in more when you have your celebration meals, but I'm going on a vacation. May is a hard month for my husband and I. It's the month that we went through a lot and our daughter passed away. And so we go out of town. It's a thing for us to kind of like get some fresh air, so to speak, versus melting down. It's a good thing. Um, and it's coming, and I can feel it coming. It is May 1st, and it always comes into play. So we will be going on vacation. If I have a meal that I think has more sugar than I'd like for it to have, more carbs than I'd like for it to have, I'm going to stay away from breads. I will not eat breads on my vacation. I probably will not have any desserts. What's kind of cool is I'm really kind of not like wanting desserts. It's already kind of kicked in. I love that. I love sugar when I'm really like losing it. So I'm going to stay away from that. But in the event that I decide to have a meal and we're eating at a restaurant or something, and I'm making food choices, I'm trying to stay with my protein vegetable meal, I will take one of those. And it curbs your appetite, but it also does not let your body spike. So if you follow the glucose goddess at this point in time, you know that the spike is everything for resetting your metabolic system. That's really what Dr. Duquesne is doing with his diet, is he's helping us to stop the spiking of our glucose levels. The spiking of our glucose levels sends our metabolic system into complete chaos. It is attributed to all of the diseases, and it is attributed to Alzheimer's in the long run. Just saying, right? So we really want to make sure, and stress also does this. So we're going to use all the tools in the tool chest, right? I hope this helps. If you have questions, and I'm sure you do, please ask them, reach out. If you're getting discouraged at any point in time for 5 minutes, reach out into the group, go into the Facebook group, comment, say something, text me, text your accountability partner. Like get really into it and create these relationships. Let's build on the relationships of the group of women who are doing the Shed and Shine program so that we can be there for each other, because that's a big step for a lot of us after the last several years. Let's create the connections that help us to accomplish these things, and it will be a long-term situation so that we always have each other. I know I'd like to always have you guys. I hope you know that you can always turn here. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Now, I have a favor to ask. I am going to post either next week or the week after. I believe will be 2 weeks from now. While we are kind of separating ourselves and trying to go through our healing process as a family, I need your help. Instead of a live call on that, not this next Monday, I will be doing the call this next Monday. I'll be doing the call. But the following Monday, I won't be doing the call. But I'm going to post in the Facebook group and ask that you each share something positive about your experience so far and a challenge, if you would like to, about the challenge so far. And let us know, even do a live or make a video and post the video of yourself and where you're at, so that we can all connect. Introduce yourself, please. Please share your name, where you live, your are you a mom? Do you work full time? Where are you in the Dukan diet if you're using it? Where are you with your doTERRA essential oils or MetaPower? And how that's all working. I'd really like to hear from you all, especially during this time where it might be a little more difficult for me to show up, like in a one-to-one call and so forth. Can you do that for me? I know I can count on you. I appreciate you ladies so much, and I really pray for you and think about you all during the week. So have a great week, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. Remember, Tuesday call next week.